Today, we're going to be taking a look at my IBM 5160 XT class computer system. Let's get started. Originally released in 1983, the IBM XT was aimed as being an upgraded version of the IBM PC, which had released 2 years earlier. The XT contains some pretty important upgrades compared to the original PC, the two main ones being a larger power supply and the inclusion of a 10MB hard drive. Let's take the lid off of my unit and inspect its specific internal components. Let's take a look at all the glorious 8-bit expansion cards in this system, most of which happen to be full length, which is pretty cool. The first card we have here is an IBM Color Graphics adapter, or as you may know it, a CGA card. This is pretty cool for its day, however it was a bit underpowered, only featuring 16KB of RAM and most games only outputting 4 colours, which quite frankly look disgusting. It does have composite video output too, which is said to look better in a lot of games, but it kind of defeats the purpose of having a matching monitor then. The next card in this system is a real testament of how quickly technology evolved between the 1980s and the 1990s. This is an AST 6-Pack Plus card, a card which contains a number of features that would be integrated onto motherboards over the next couple of years. This example here boasts a full 384KB of expanded memory, which maxes the system out to 640K in total. It also has real-time clock functionality, among other things, which were very handy back in the day. And the last card in this system is just a floppy drive controller. There it is. Looking at the motherboard, we can see it appears to be pretty ancient. It features an AMD 8088 CPU, 256KB of onboard RAM, and a total of 8 8-bit ISA slots. This is the 64 to 256KB system board, which is probably one of the most common models you can come across. With the system back together, let's take a look at the keyboard, which is this glorious IBM Model F. This is a beautiful keyboard and I absolutely love the way it types. Just get a listen. Whilst I do love the Model F keyboard and the way it types, there is a couple of downsides. The first one being the spacebar. It's really stiff compared to the rest of the keyboard and almost makes it a workout to use and can hurt your thumbs after a while. There's also no legends on the F and J keys. This makes it harder to touch type, but not impossible. With that out of the way, let's actually go ahead and power on the system. It's got this big beautiful switch on the side, which is really satisfying to turn on and off. The monitor is equally satisfying too, with its turning knob. It takes quite a while to count up the full 640KB of RAM which is installed in this system, but eventually it does. While it's counting up the RAM, we need to find a boot disk and insert it into the floppy drive, so that way the computer has something to boot into. That took quite a long time. Now that we're in DOS, I'm gonna swap out the boot disk and put in my totally legit copy of Tetris. Once that's done, we'll just list the directory, and as we can see, it's very slow. Anyways, the version that works on this is called R-Tetris. There's a number of different ones on this floppy disk. And yeah, once we type that in, we should be able to boot into the game. And we don't have a joystick. And there we go, Tetris. Look at that. Now, admittedly, it is rather poor performing on this system, and it's not a very good version of Tetris to begin with. But still though, it is cool to see a game running on such a slow system. Beyond playing Tetris, however, there isn't really much I can do with this system at the current moment. This is because I don't have a way to get files on and off of it. I did try making 5¼ floppy disks, but all my 360k drives, which are writable, seem to be dead, which is a shame. So I'll probably end up putting something like an XT to IDE in this system at some point. However, I can't seem to find one for a decent price at the moment, or at least not any that are in Australia. But once some become available, I'll definitely buy one and put it in this system, since that way I can transfer files to it with ease. Beyond that though, it is still really cool to own one of these systems, since it's been one of my goals of collecting pretty much since I originally got into it. So I can definitely say that it's a nice conversation piece at least. Anyway, that's about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.